Here's how you can negotiate better. And remember that when you're in any kind of communication and you don't know you are within a negotiation, you are going to lose in life. The person that loses in the negotiation is the person that doesn't know he is in a negotiation or she is in a negotiation. You are always in a negotiation if you are communicating with somebody. Sometimes the communication could be even non-verbally. So I'll give you a reframe or a way to look at communication and some techniques you can use so that you can communicate better and negotiate better. And I'll also revisit the story about Kermit, which I didn't get to finish yesterday, when he went into a bank. So remember how we talked about the other day on how to become an elegant communicator. Elegance meaning the confluence of efficiency and effectiveness. When you become an effective communicator and an efficient communicator, you become an elegant communicator. All right, so somebody just texted me. So here's how you can become more elegant of a communicator. Remember how we talked about influence? How much of my channel is dedicated to teaching you how to become more influential. There's a branch of influence, a byproduct of influence, which is actually a mechanism of influence, which is persuasion. And persuasion is merely influence, which is purposeful. Purposeful influence is persuasion. You're always persuading, especially if you want to communicate better. If you want to become more influential, rather effective and efficient, you are persuasive. Now, when you look at communication, every communication you do has a transaction. What a transaction means is that something moves forward. You understand? So that there's social transactions involved in every communication. Some could be as basic as the hi transaction, which is hi. You walk past someone and you say hello, and then they say hello. That's a transaction. What if you say hello, and then the transaction involves the other person saying, hey douchebag. Now that's a completely different kind of transaction. Do you understand? Every communication you have has a transaction, has a negotiation. At the very least, a transaction is merely appreciation. Appreciation meaning understanding, that they grasp the communication that you imparted in them, that they understood your communication. And they could merely say, I got it, I understand, thank you. And that in itself is a transaction, is an exchange in communication. So realize and recognize that every time you're communicating with people, you are negotiating. And when you look at it like that, you're going to become more effective in your communication. So I'll give you some for examples. Let's say a client went into your store, whichever store it is, and you say, hey, how's your day going? Can I help you with anything? And the client says, oh no, I'm just looking. So that's ineffective and inefficient communication. Let's say you have a client and you start telling your life story. So, oh yeah, I understand. I came from Alaska, and when I was younger, I played in a billiard hall for like 4 years, and I got really good at billiards. And all these problems have, and then you talk about all your problems in your life. That's called ineffective and inefficient communication. Now, what if that customer or client came into your website or came into your store and you say, hey, my name's Ron, or whatever your name is. You don't say your name is Ron if your name's not Ron. But if your name's Ron, hit me up. Hey, my name's Ron. What information can I help you with? Not, my name is Ron John Matatina Bulong, or your full name, or your moniker, or anything else. Hey, my name's Ron. What information can I help you with? Welcome to our store. What information can I help you with? What's the answer to that? It's such an effective communication because it just makes you not look like a salesperson, like you're selling something, and it doesn't trigger their automatic response. And the automatic response is, oh no, I'm just looking. No, what information can I help you with? Everybody's looking for information. And more than likely, before they even entered your store, they're already mostly knowledgeable about what they already want because of the interwebs. That's called effective communication, effective negotiation. So I'll revisit negotiating in the following videos and more about communication. And I want you to realize that you are always persuading, you're always negotiating with people. So when you recognize that, you become a more effective communicator. At the very least, the negotiation might be just appreciation. Hey, hello, how's it going? Then you get that back and forth. What about in relationships? In relationships, it's incredibly important to recognize that you're always negotiating. So I like to have the contract of appreciation. I'll talk about the contract of appreciation maybe tomorrow. I'll write that down. Contract of appreciation tomorrow. That's going to be really good because a lot of people don't get what they want, and a lot of people don't have clarity in their communication with their beloved, with their friends, with their people, with their peers, because they don't understand a contract of appreciation. I'm really excited to tell you that because that's one of my favorite things. So let's go back to, I got 3 minutes to tell you what happened to Kermit. So a frog went into a bank. Remember, I told you yesterday. A frog went into a bank, and his name was Kermit Jagger. And he went into a teller, and the teller had a name tag, Patricia Whack. And Kermit went up to Patricia, and he said, hey, Miss Whack, I'd like to get a loan for 30 grand. And Patricia was completely confused. Why is there a frog walking into a bank named Kermit? And 30 grand is quite a substantial amount. And so she communicated with Kermit. And she said, well, that's quite a substantial amount. What are you trying to buy with 30 grand? And Kermit says, I'm trying to buy a boat. I'm trying to get on vacation, and I'm really just sick and tired of COVID. And Patricia was really confused and kind of discombobulated. And she said, that's quite a substantial amount. I'm going to require an exchange for that kind of amount. Do you have anything, we call it collateral. Do you have any collateral for that? And so Kermit said, well, that 30 grand is not going to be a problem. The manager knows me. I'm the son of Mick Jagger from the Rolling Stones. And just talk to your manager. And she said, well, Patricia said, well, we're still going to need a collateral. And so Kermit looked around and he checked his pockets with his webby hands, and he found a collateral. It was a shiny pink porcelain elephant. And then he handed this elephant to Patricia. And Patricia said she took it to her manager. And when she got to her manager, she said, hey boss, I've got a frog here named Kermit Jagger. And he says that you know his father, Mick Jagger. And he's asking for a 30 grand loan to get a boat. And his collateral is this thing right here. And then the manager looked at it. And it's a pink porcelain elephant. And he looks at it and it says, it's a knick-knack, paddywhack. Give the frog a loan. His father's from the Rolling Stone.